She boarded that plane as a symbol of success, but it only took one moment to remind everyone watching that success doesn't always protect you. Brenda Holloway sat upright in seat 1A, her posture rigid and deliberate. She never slouched, not in meetings, not on stages, and certainly not in first class. The gold-plated lapel pin on her navy blazer shimmered as she shifted slightly, the initials BH etched in elegant script. It had been a gift from her assistant the day her firm hit a $10 million quarter. Brenda had laughed then, but now she wore it like armor. Today wasn't just another business trip to New York. This was the deal, the one that would secure her consulting firm, Holloway Strategies, a legacy-defining merger. She was on the brink of placing her name among an echelon of CEOs that rarely included women like her. Black, brilliant, and unbothered. Until now. "Excuse me, ma'am. I'm really sorry to bother you," came a soft voice. Brenda looked up from her iPad, her finger still hovering over bullet points in her investor pitch. The flight attendant, a young white woman, maybe 24 or 25, smiled nervously. "There's been a bit of a mix-up," she said. "Would you be willing to swap seats with another passenger? He has some mobility needs. It would really help us out." Brenda raised an eyebrow. "Mobility needs?" The attendant hesitated. "He prefers a window seat." "And your seat was paid for," Brenda interrupted, her tone even. "6 months ago. First class, refundable, upgraded fare." "I understand. I really do. It's just that he's one of our platinum elite travelers, and we thought maybe." There it was. The tone. The same tone Brenda had heard in conference rooms and at galas, in polite company and whispered conversations. The tone that questioned her place even when she'd earned it 10 times over. She glanced down the aisle and saw him, a white man in his 60s, silver hair, standing beside seat 1D. He didn't look at her. He didn't need to. Brenda took a deep breath, nodded, and stood. "Of course. Let me grab my things." "Thank you so much," the attendant said with a rush of relief. "We'll bring you something extra for the trouble." Brenda didn't reply. She packed her iPad, grabbed her water bottle, and tucked her boarding pass back into her wallet. Her body moved, but her mind was somewhere else, somewhere thunderous. Seat 5C was narrow, cramped, wrapped in the dull hum of economy snack wrappers, dry coughs, and restless children. She'd built her entire career on access, and here she was, moved, minimized, and made invisible. Her grandmother's voice echoed in her memory. "Don't let them make you small, Brenda." 10 minutes passed. Then Brenda stood again. She walked slowly to the front of the plane, unbothered by the curious stares. Calm. Collected. "I'd like to speak to your captain," she told the startled flight attendant, "and your regional supervisor. And while you're at it, I need the name of the man now sitting in 1A. Is there a problem?" "There will be if I don't get answers in the next 3 minutes." Something shifted. People started listening. Moments later, the flight attendant returned with another woman in a blazer. "Evan Tran, regional service manager." Brenda stood her ground. "Miss Holloway, I understand there's been a misunderstanding," Evan began. "A misunderstanding implies this was an accident," Brenda replied. "We'd like to offer you a voucher for the inconvenience. $750. And we'll refund your upgrade fee." Brenda didn't look at the envelope. "That man is still in my seat." "But you agreed to move." "I was pressured under the assumption that this airline prioritizes white men's preferences over black women's paid reservations." A stillness settled. Eyes and ears tuned in. "I'm the founder and CEO of Holloway Strategies," Brenda continued. "We booked nearly $4 million in travel with your airline this fiscal year. Did your system flag that?" Evan had no answer. "I'm not interested in your vouchers. I want to know why no one questioned this until I stood up." Captain Harris appeared tall, calm. Brenda explained the situation. He listened. "If she paid for that seat," he said, "it's hers. That's not negotiable." He walked over to 1A, spoke with the man, who grumbled but eventually stood. No apology. Not even eye contact. Brenda didn't need it. She returned to her seat like she was reclaiming something stolen. Her presence echoed. Later, a young woman approached. "I recorded what happened. I hope that's okay. You were powerful. What's your name?" "Lucia Reyes." "Send it to me before you post it." Lucia nodded. By the time they landed in New York, Brenda's phone buzzed with notifications. The 48-second clip was at 32,000 views. By the time she got to her town car, it was at 110,000. The next morning, her face was everywhere. Headlines read, Black CEO confronts airline over discrimination, and Brenda Holloway stands her ground. Lucia's clip had gone viral. News shows wanted interviews. Influencers reposted it. Brenda didn't want the spotlight. She wanted impact. But the spotlight had found her. Her assistant, Nina, texted, "Everyone here is buzzing. You're a legend." Her sister, Rachel, messaged, "Proud doesn't even cover it. Call me." That afternoon, Brenda gave the most important pitch of her life. Her proposal for the merger was flawless. Midway through, a note arrived. The airline's VP of PR wanted to meet. During my pitch, Brenda asked, "They said it's urgent. I'll finish my pitch first. Then I'll decide." She finished strong. Numbers, vision, clarity. She didn't miss a beat. 10 minutes later, Brenda sat across from Eliza Montgomery, Sterling Air's VP of PR. "We want to apologize," Eliza said. "Collaborate on a joint statement. Maybe a campaign featuring you." Brenda asked, "If Lucia hadn't recorded the video, would you be here?" "Hard to say." "No, it's not." Brenda stood. "Fix your policies. Publish your data. Fire the people who made me invisible. I don't want your campaign. I want change." Back at her hotel, Brenda exhaled. Her team had closed the deal. Her firm was now one of the top minority-led consultancies in the country. That evening, they celebrated on a rooftop. Brenda in jeans and a tailored coat. Nina brought her a drink. Rachel joined with fire in her eyes. "You didn't call me." "Because I knew you'd tell me to go nuclear." Rachel smirked. "You handled it better than I would have." The video had passed 2 million views. Sterling Air announced company-wide audits and policy reforms. But what moved Brenda most were the messages from Black women, young professionals, and even elders who said, "Thank you." Evan Tran appeared near the lounge door, holding a box. "Not a voucher," she promised. "This is personal." Inside was a glass sculpture, abstract and soaring. "My sister's a Black artist. She saw your video and cried. She asked me, 'What did you do about it?' I didn't have an answer." "This is from us." Brenda nodded. "Tell her it reached me." Later that night, Nina approached again. "You're trending again. Your quote from the Q&A. Which one?" "Don't ask for the seat. Don't wait. Take it. Keep it. Make space for someone else." Brenda smiled. She hadn't planned the words. They just came. The city pulsed below. Her team laughed behind her. Life moved on. But Brenda stood still for a moment, not to be small, but to remember. She remembered the girl in her mom's kitchen. The 16-year-old told to smile more. The silence in that plane. And then she remembered standing. For tonight, she had what she'd always deserved. A moment of joy that didn't ask her to shrink, and a seat no one could take from her again.